Welcome to Sub-Auteurs, a production of Big Baby Studios, where we talk about movies. That's it? That's your best ghost? We are hip deep in the Hungry Ghost Month, and today it is the Hungry Ghost Month, and we're going to be talking about Asian horror films.
Horror? You mean watching the news?
That's more of a tragedy.
Speaking of the news, did you see what happened to Beirut? In Beirut?
Oh, jeez. That was crazy. Dude, that was crazy.
Scary. Man.
Oh, my
God. That was nuts.
They heard the explosion 125 miles away.
Jeez.
It registered as a 3.3 magnitude earthquake, though. Also,
like over 100 people died in the initial blast, and now like 4,000 people have injuries and climbing. It was just insane. It was a depot for confiscated.
Okay, can we just stop challenging 2020? Because 2020 has been bringing it. I mean, like 2020 has been bringing it nonstop.
Yeah,
and it started with
factories exploding.
Started with forest fires. Kobe Bryant. Volcano in the Philippines.
Oh, jeez, that's right.
The pandemic.
Oh, man.
Corruption.
Oh, wow.
Quarantine.
We are in one big horror film.
And then an ostrich escape.
Oh, yeah, the ostrich.
You'll be hearing this. The ostrich had a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But it was a very good ostrich because when they blocked it at the gate, it didn't leave. It was like, oh, okay,
he observed quarantine.
He probably forgot his quarantine pass, so.
How did we get to this point? I mean, like, seriously. How did we get to the point where an ostrich running through a village is headline news?
I have no idea.
Well, I think we feel like we are the ostrich. You know, just wanting to run away from everything.
At some point.
Yeah,
that is
me. I want to run away from my problems.
Oh, well.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about Asian horror movies. So I guess let's kick things off. I want to ask you guys something. Like, what do you think makes Asian horror movies particularly effective? Why are they scary? Why are they scarier than like the ones that we're used to? How's that?
I feel like a lot of them are so deeply rooted into tradition, superstition, and a really, really rich culture. So we have this amazing culture of like respecting our elders or like our ancestors or, you know, trying to appease the dead and everything. All these superstitions, all these beliefs. And no matter what religion, because there are so many religions being practiced in Asia, no matter what it is, there's always something that to be afraid of. Like, oh, you gotta be afraid of hell. You gotta be afraid of demons. You gotta be afraid of spirits. You know what I mean? So there are so many things to be afraid of in all these traditions.
I
agree.
I completely agree. Like culturally speaking, I think especially for the Philippines, since we are located in Asia, it hits closer to home. So I guess at some point, also the way these films are, you know, how the treatments are done, like everything is mostly shrouded on mystery. Like Asian horror movies have a thing, or the more well-known ones have a thing for really keeping everything so mysterious. You know, I think it also, I believe in the whole saying that what you don't know or what you don't see is scarier than what you know or what you can see.
No, I agree completely because whatever you don't see, your brain is always going to fill in the gaps, and it's always going to be a million times scarier than anything any director can show you.
Yep, that's why swimming in deep water is scary because you can't see far down.
Right, and like that's something that's what makes the original Jaws. That's what makes that movie so effective. You never see the shark for like an hour. It's just the idea of the shark, because they're talking about it, because they refer to it, or you see the bodies it leaves behind. You are just scared before you even see this thing.
Yep.
There's always such good build-up in these. Like, it usually takes a while before you see the main demon or entity that's scaring the shit out of you. First, you're gonna see things moving, things getting knocked over shelves and everything.
I think these are
it's the suspense that kind of like builds it up.
Exactly. Aside from that, I think these are the reasons why the American remakes don't really pan out so well or don't translate so well. Because each of these films, like coming from Japan, you have The Ring, you have The Grudge, and others. Then you have Shutter from Thailand. Then you translate it into American culture. It's just so different because, something that's culturally bound with a country or, with a society. You're going to bring everything that's scary from that culture into westernize it, try to translate it into American culture. It won't necessarily work because it doesn't come natural to, a different society or a different culture altogether.
But the thing is, I mean, whether it's Japanese, it's Korean, it's Taiwanese, it's Chinese, it's
Filipino.
or all of these, for some reason, they still work with us within the region, whether or not we share the same religious beliefs or whatnot. I think a big part of that is because on some level we can still relate, because exactly what MJ said, we have strong familial ties, we have strong cultural ties. I mean, things that our history goes back centuries, whereas America, Hollywood. America, the United States, only has like 250 years of history. And for them, for the most part, their cultures and traditions, I mean, they're way younger or less developed than a lot of what we have here. In fact, the closest things that they have to culture are what? Movies and comic books. Those are their myths. Those are their legends.
You gotta give Alexander Hamilton a break, man. Alexander Hamilton. Sorry.
And we're back.
Sorry.
No, I just mean like in America, I mean, they've mostly given up on religion, so that's out the window already. That's why the majority of their scary movies either leverage jump scares or whatever that people still remember from Catholic school.
Nobody.
That's about it.
But you can't really blame them because America or the West has also produced great horror movies and iconic horror movies as well. Like The Exorcist. Roman Polanski's Rosemary's Baby.
That's true. Good one.
Yes.
But those kasi are more closely tied to what they're more familiar with.
Yes.
So parang I think it's just in perspective with respect to what they know. I think it comes down to what you know as a culture or what you're familiar with. Because even if it's like a 250-year-old country, if it's a young country or what, they still have their own beliefs. They still have their own.
I agree with that, except the examples you mentioned, whether it's The Exorcist or Rosemary's Baby, or even you could throw in The Omen. A lot of the horror from those films, a lot of the horror from those movies is derived from old world European ideas of religion and horror.
Oh, that's true.
It was their fear of God and the devil and hell, not, the new world and its new ideals and new beliefs were basically, money overall.
Mm-hmm.
Although what really worked for me, honestly, was the Amityville horror. Because it was based on a true crime story, which of course it's debatable whether it's something supernatural or not, but it just really worked for me because that happened in their land. It had everything rooted in real events in a place in their country.
Right.
So that worked because it was their own. So I think they just should stop. What?
I thought kasi your priorities were Ryan Reynolds' body and Amityville.
Not really, actually. Oh, I know.
That was a shitty remake.
I forgot about that.
That was a shitty
about
remake.
The original.
Thank you. Anjo was thinking about Ryan Reynolds.
It's not me this time.
Maybe
because
body.
Maybe because it just wasn't up to par to the original, so it's just like,
Yeah, the original was just too scary for me.
Yeah,
but that's one of the
familiar,
so-called cases of that Conjuring couple.
Oh yeah,
supposedly.
Yes, yes.
That was
Oh yeah,
one
the
of their
Conjuring
case
series
files.
too. The Conjuring series
Yeah.
early on, not like the later ones where they tried to milk so much money out of Annabelle. It's like stop.
And that nun,
Annabelle's so tired.
and the nun, and that lake lady or whatever she was. But let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to Asia. What are some of your favorite Asian horror movies?
I would have to say siguro like the one thing that introduced me to true Asian horror, like the genre in general, was The Ring.
Of course.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I
gee.
mean, like
Oh gee.
Yeah.
we're not talking about
It's
Samara, we're talking about Sadako.
Yes.
We're talking about Ringu.
Ringu.
1999, I think.
1999. Yeah. So
Hideo Nakata. The same guy who did Dark Water.
Yep. So I think for its time, but it was so simplistic. You know, they didn't even have any makeup on. They just covered her with hair, right? But
Made
you know,
her crawl in a really creepy way.
yeah, and the
Language.
the imagery of that stupid fucking ring still haunts me to this day.
And like it also haunts you, like the static on TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
It's something
something's
that used
up.
to be so. I know it used to be something you see on the regular. It's like, oh, okay, there's something up with my TV. It's nothing.
It was
But
what I
after
used
seeing
to go
the
to
ring,
sleep.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
after seeing
I
the
used-
ring, it's like,
That-
shit.
That fucking stupid white noise and that static on TV was what I
Yep.
used to go to sleep. Because of that movie, I turned off my TV. Like,
Aren't you the guy who like threw his blanket across the room? No, wait, that was the Grudge. That was the Grudge.
That's the Grudge. Well, I have another.
Which is
story for
another
The Grudge.
good one.
Which is another good
We'll,
one.
we'll get to the Grudge later. I also
But I
have a
don't
story
know.
about the Grudge.
The ring, because the ring is so it was so iconic. I think during high school, it was all that people were talking about. You know, it was-
I love that. I
It was-
absolutely love that.
yeah, but that's but that's the Samara version, my.
I know, but I can't say it in Japanese.
You
I
could
don't-
have tried.
It's easier. Okay, fine. Googling Japanese. Google Translate. Fine.
Do you really want to Google The Ring in the middle of the night?
No,
but
I'm just gonna Google Translate.
even the
7
Ring
days.
series, even the second one was good. Even the second Japanese
It
version.
was okay.
It was
For
okay.
anyone who's not
I
hold
stopped
on.
there.
For anyone who doesn't know, the Ring is about basically a curse that's passed on from one generation to the next. And if you watch this cursed videotape,
You are.
you'll die in 7 days. Like the girl who cursed this house, this well, will come out of your TV and basically murder you.
And she's all wet and crawling. Oh God.
And that is like this one of the single scariest things you've ever seen. Because like if you remember that movie, it was a slow burn. It starts out strong and then it sags in the middle, but it does that on purpose. It's a slow burn. It's like a mystery. It's a procedural. It's an investigation until that ending that just knocks you for a loop and then you don't sleep for a month.
I
can't.
couldn't.
Oh, here we go. 7 days in Japanese. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Nanukakan. I can't.
I have no idea. I don't
I don't know the pronunciation of that.
But I don't think a ghost would have a question mark at the end. But okay.
Nanukakan.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of messed up. Let's not do that. Okay, do you remember how I did something at the time that movie came out? It was like I was in my first year of college, I think, and
Jesus, now I'm looking behind my shoulder.
I downloaded. I used whatever the hell downloading service we had at the time. I don't know. What was it? LimeWire?
Misha, could you hold on for a bit? For our listeners right now, just so you know, Mai is recording in a dim room.
I always
Alone.
record. I always record in the dark because my lights have this annoying high-pitched noise, so I don't want it to be in the recording. But now, oh my God, I regret it so much.
Yes, sorry. So now going back
Continue.
to Misha.
Please continue with the story. Distract me, or it's not going to distract me.
Yeah,
but whatever.
she always records in a dim room, but usually she's alone. I don't know. But anyways.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab my stuffed bunny now.
I think your curtain just moved.
So, anyways, I was like, oh my god, she left, guys. She just left.
She's back. She's back with a pillow.
Yes.
Why did I agree to this?
The pillow will protect you.
Shut up. At least it's not a blanket.
Okay.
Going
Wait,
back-
so like in my first year of college, right? So The Ring comes out. Everybody saw it in the theater. Everybody was scared out of their minds and all that, right? I used whatever download service we had at the time. I don't know if it was LimeWire or whatever, right? But I downloaded the American curse video and the Japanese curse video. And then I burned them onto random CDs.
You're such an asshole. Oh my
dick.
God.
What the fuck?
That's fucked up.
What the
And then, wait,
I'm so
and
glad we
then
were not friends then. My God.
I handed them
my-
out. I had like this many CDs and I handed them out in school.
Oh my
You
god.
asshole.
Oh my god, I had so many angry texts. Can I just say?
Asshole.
And I was like, what are you afraid of? I mean, it's not a cursed CD, it's a cursed videotape in the movie.
But what if Sadako went digital? What if she went
She did. She was like in cell phones in one of the sequels.
fucking hell? Well, I didn't watch the sequels.
One of my favorite Asian horror movies is also Japanese. It's actually quite hard to watch in its entirety. It's called Audition. Misha knows this.
Oh, I love
Oh
Audition.
man, that is so
I love
messed up.
Audition. I
Okay,
love that.
So
That
it's
is-
not your traditional ghost story for anybody who hasn't seen it, but it's kind of like this psychological horror where this bachelor
Oh yeah.
holds an audition, hence the title, Audition, for women to be his wife. And then this one, pixie manic dream girl type girl
Exactly.
auditions, and she's so adorable.
And
so
she's too good
lovable.
to be true.
She's so pretty.
too good
She's
to
so
be true.
adorable.
Gorgeous. She's the
And of
perfect
course-
wife.
She wins it. Of course, she wins the audition,
Yeah.
right? And she's fucking
Right.
psycho. You know, this is
No,
like the
but wait,
best.
the catch is the girls auditioning think they're auditioning for a film. They don't know that they're auditioning to be his wife. That's what makes it worse.
Oh yeah. I forgot that detail. So a lot of the people, I mean, like the audience is led to believe that the guy was up to something the whole time, and then you realize once this girl enters into his life, then it's a whole different ride for him. Apparently, this girl is the one who's a fucking psycho. You know,
I love
like
it.
who. I don't know. I mean, like, should I? Because it's not. I mean, I don't want to spoil it because how she does it to him, like how she tortures
It's
him, it's just
fucked up.
it's so fucked up. Like
Absolutely.
if Saw was fucked up, and Saw was so grand. It was so fucked. He had all these eccentric mechanisms, eccentric plans. This girl, how they did it for this film, it was so simplistic. It was very intimate, which made it so
Yes.
scary.
And it's very
added to the
simple.
horror.
It's very there's nothing complicated about how she fucks things up because like it's something that people could do.
I
Like
swear,
any
and-
regular Joe could do if they're that psycho. It's
If any of you listeners can find a copy of this movie, watch it. Let us know.
Audition.
I
It's so
swear
Yeah,
it will
that
change
is
your
so
lives.
good.
It's really good.
And you will be scared of piano wire. Ugh.
good. Duh.
no.
Oh god.
This is what I love about this is what I love
No, I was
about
gonna-
great horror movies. It's that they make something that's so ordinary that you see in your everyday life into something to be afraid of. Like, for example, The Ring, any static on the TV, piano wire, or like in local
Yes.
local examples, the
Pero-
dangwa. Ay, the dangwa. Dangwa.
What was it?
Ano, the
Feng
ano?
shui.
Hindi ka naman bibili, hindi ka naman bibili ng bulaklak eh. Malayo pa ang Valentine's Day.
Dangwa ang puta. I just want flowers. Anyway,
what do you call that?
bangwa ba?
Bangwa ba, Misha?
That's it. There you go. There you
There,
go.
bangwa. There, not the flower place where you, not in the market where you buy flowers, but the little
Spider web
Chinese mirror that you see in
actually-
still Chinese households. That's
Right.
like
that was a really good local horror movie that starred Chris Aquino. I really enjoyed that one. Feng Shui.
Me too.
That was great.
It
The
had
sequel
its
was
stupid
garbage.
moments. It
I
had
didn't
its
watch the
stupid
sequel.
moments, but it's still scary. Because
The
at the end
sequel
of the
was
day, you're still scared to look at those things now.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I don't know. Ever since, even before that movie, Feng Shui, those things freak me out as a kid. Like, every time I'd see that in a classmate's house, I'd be like, no.
That was scary.
Never coming to this house
Absolutely.
ever again.
Right?
Exactly.
I had a classmate
was
who had
scary
a basketball court in his backyard. So,
Mhm.
and he was the only classmate at the time who had that. So we'd play basketball in his house. But every time we'd have to enter, I'd see that thing. It really bothered me. Like,
Yeah. The story of that movie was what was she? She was like a single mom, right, or something.
I think
And she was a
so.
single mom. They moved into a new house, and people started dying based on their Chinese zodiac sign.
yeah.
And yeah, that was messed up. It had some really creative depths. But
Yeah.
now, like,
Some
I
you
mean,
really didn't expect. Like, you already see the pattern and you'd be thinking,
Yep.
like, oh, this person's gonna die like this. But no.
No.
Curveball.
No, you don't.
Oops.
Dude, that movie messed me up. Like, I'll be driving down the highway, and then if I see, like, I'm behind a pig truck, I gotta get out of there because that's my year. I'm like, nope. I don't want to be behind this truck. I don't want to be anywhere near this truck. This thing is gonna, like, explode, and I'm gonna get hit by ham.
I'm pretty safe. I'm Year of the Dragon, so those things are mythological. So, you know.
I don't know, dude.
They
Stuff
could
could
find
happen.
ways. They could find ways. You could probably
Yeah.
die while watching an episode of Game of Thrones or something. You have a seizure
Yeah, you
while a
did,
dragon
I did.
scene comes on.
You would die watching the 8th season. You would die watching the 8th season, you know?
Because it's so
Yeah,
bad.
that was pretty god awful. That was so bad.
Yep.
How about no? That movie had some pretty good kills. One of my favorites was the horse.
don't ruin
one.
it.
Anybody?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
No, I'm not gonna
Yeah, the
tell
horse
it, but
one.
anybody who's seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The horse.
The
kill
horse
is one of my
one.
favorites.
That was pretty good. That was
Because-
really good.
and the fact that they don't oversell it, they let the scene speak for itself. They don't have
Mhm.
like stupid dialogue inserted to explain it. It just
Mhm.
worked
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah.
There's
That was
this
pretty.
new-
That was my favorite one.
So there's also this new horror movie.
Is this the call center one?
Yeah, the calls. I forget the title. It's on Netflix.
Shoot.
This
Yeah,
one I didn't see.
yeah.
Hold on.
Who's in
Uh,
it? Who's in it?
What's that movie? That call center movie with Sunod.
Right.
Sunod. So that story was pretty good. I mean, like it had its
What was it
flaws.
about? What was it
So-
about?
Basically, they work. This single mom who has a sick daughter starts working at a haunted call center. So she has she has a chance encounter with the ghost.
Oh hell no!
So a ghost of a child. The ghost of the child possesses her daughter.
Oh
No thanks. Okay, I have issues with dead kids. I have major issues with dead kids.
But aside from the story being fucked up, I mean that being fucked up, it gets even more fucked up once you get into the history of why the kid's dead, what the history of the building was. Aside from that, the visuals, if you watch this movie, was pretty good. Like the cinematography was amazing. Conceptually, I don't want to get too much into the visual. There's this one particular scene in the movie that when you see it, you'll just be amazed. It's a visually stunning scene. Like when they shot that thing, you'd be like, wow. Like Filipino cinema has gone so far from the campy horror stories of Shake, Rattle, and Roll to this.
Right.
I should see this.
You should see it.
Oh,
You
this
should
was
watch
just
it.
last year?
Yep.
Wow.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix now. It's on Netflix.
Cool. So
While
excited
we're
to
on-
see scary children.
While we're still on Filipino horror movies, one of the ones that I remember that explains why I have an involuntary fear of nuns is
okay, never mind.
okay, fine. You go first. No, you go ahead. No, I was gonna say like Manananggal in the City. Holy shit. Come on! How old were you when that came out? Do not laugh at me. You go to hell and you go to hell.
for me, it was that shake rattle. I have this irrational fear for gigantic vases. You know, like
women
because of that stupid shake rattle and roll segment. What was that name? Flash, what was the name of that segment in Shake Rattle and Roll? The giant vase where the monster would...
There was a monster in the vase?
Halimaw sa banga or something. Oh, no, it's not a Shake Rattle and Roll movie, but you know, I was a kid when I saw it.
What was it?
So this vase had like a ghost living inside of it. So every time somebody comes in, there's a person inside the vase or this ghost inside the vase. They would get whoever living creature was and take that person into the vase and they would never see that person again. Halimaw sa banga.
Huh.
Like I was a kid, it scared me.
You know what? I just remembered, like with the audition, one of the reasons that movie was so messed up was because of the director, Takeshi Miike. That guy who did 13 Assassins, One Missed Call. All of his movies are messed up on some level.
That's why he's a horror director.
Yeah, that makes sense. I still cannot hear the ringtone. The ringtone from One Missed Call. The one that when you hear it, you know you're gonna die. When this thing calls your cell phone.
What if one day I take your cell phone and change the ringtone to that?
Don't do that.
He deserves it after sending those DVDs to his friends with the ring.
And then I'll just message MJ to call him nonstop.
In my defense,
it's in place, MJ. Start calling Misha.
In my defense, I wasn't giving them out to my friends, so you probably would have been safe. I was handing them out to my friends and strangers.
Oh, you asshole!
That
makes it worse. That makes it worse. I sincerely hope the strangers you gave it to have never seen The Ring, and they're just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Nah, I got a lot of angry texts.
Yeah.
UP Manila is a very small campus, so yeah, everybody knew everybody else.
Diyos ko sa UP Manila pa, ang dami pang momo dun. My God.
Oh my God, yeah, that is a scary fucking campus.
I think every school has its horror stories.
It does, but UP Manila is, you know,
that was one of the Japanese secret police's, that was one of the Kempeitais hangouts.
Yep. So was Lasal. Like, if you go to the chapel, you go to the chapel in Lasal, you would still see bloodstains of the people that the Japanese soldiers shot inside the chapel there.
I went to St. Joseph's in Singapore. That's the first LaSalle school in Southeast Asia. And when you go to the admin office, they have a mural there of the brothers and the people who died on campus in LaSalle in Manila. And they explained that to every freshman, what that mural is.
Oh, welcome.
No, because the LaSallian brothers at that time housed refugees,
right?
You know, and of course,
and wounded people also,
and wounded people. So of course, you know, like time of war,
right?
Violence is bound to happen.
And when the Americans started bombing the living daylights out of Manila rather than fight a ground war, the Japanese decided to burn all their bridges.
Yeah. Oh, what's that new Sharon Cuneta movie? That horror movie that she plays the husband of
wife.
She played the husband.
No. She played the mom of the kid. It's also on Netflix.
Google.
There's a Sharon Cuneta.
Yeah, it's recent lang. And then the guy who played her husband was the guy who played General Luna. John Arcilla.
Ayun.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry, John. I am a fan. I love John Arcilla. Like, he's a great actor. He was also in a Bourne movie.
This is embarrassing, you guys.
This is embarrassing.
The shitty Bourne movie.
Yeah, the shitty Bourne movie, but you know.
I think the fear is getting to our brains.
Yeah, but anyway, this what's the name of this movie? The one that I just saw, Cuaresma. I think it was.
What the hell does that? What does that mean?
I think Cuaresma is something to do with Holy Week.
Yeah, it's something about Lent.
Yeah, something about Lent. So that's what Cuaresma means. Parang.
Oh, my mother would be proud that I know this.
But you watch this movie it's a pretty good
Oh,
movie.
right. That's the Eric Mati one. Right.
Yes, it is the Eric Mati movie. So Sharon Cuneta in it, because it's a pretty good one also. And again,
nice.
Visuals are pretty stunning also. Cinematography was good. Plus, John Arcilla was amazing in this movie. You will hate him so much in this movie.
Do you remember, like, there was a time, like, in the early 2000s, I think, where it's like every month there'd be some new horror movie from Korea, from China, or from Japan. And it got to the point where America was just remaking everything left, right, and center, and it was just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What were some of the movies that you remember? Some of the scarier ones, the scarier entries that you still recall
from America?
The Grudge.
No. The Japanese, the original Asian ones.
The Grudge.
Oh yeah,
The Grudge.
I want to hear your The Grudge story now.
Wait, tell what the movie is about.
What? What did you say?
What's the movie? Tell them what the movie's about first.
It's this
for the younger kids.
It's a scary ass kid who just haunts this house and scares the living daylights out of you by going to your safe spaces.
Horrible.
I
hate the fact that when he opens his mouth, it's a cat screech that you hear.
So basically it's about this haunted house. Yeah, nothing too fancy, but of course there's a lot of abuse and torture and traumatic experiences and negative energy that's happening in here.
And Mumu.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's this really scary kid that
his name is Toshio.
Yeah. And he crawls in your safe spaces and yeah. I think I'm gonna spoil it kasi now that I think about it, if I share the story of me and my friends watching it, it's gonna spoil one of the scariest moments.
I think you can because the Grudge was marketed well enough for a lot of people to know. So okay lang.
Well,
Audition wasn't marketed here kasi.
Well,
right.
I think either way, even if you know these things, when you see it, it'll still be fucking scary. So me and my friends were watching The Grudge at a sleepover. I think we were in grade school at this time. We were at a sleepover, nice air conditioning in the dark with all our blankets and snuggled up in a lot of sheets and pillows and everything. But there's this one fucking scene where it comes from under the fucking blanket. And we were all, lahat kami sumisigaw na we threw all our blankets away.
Isn't that the scene where she settled in the bed? She thinks she's so comfortable. Because, when you're scared, you see, and you know that your safe space is the bed, and you feel protected when you're under the sheets, under the blanket, and then to have something tug you from under the sheets or under the blanket, only to see that somebody's there. Where the fuck did this kid come from?
Exactly.
What the fuck? Bunny, I think everybody has that story with that scene. I have a story with that scene also. When you're in high school, you're not allowed to watch TV on the weekdays. Diba? So parang hanging out in my room. Friday night, TV, I can stay up late, watch TV. Just watching I think at that time, mga Solar Channel pa yun eh. Or whatever. I think they were airing those ads on the Solar Channel at that time.
Right.
So parang,
shout
see The
out,
Grudge.
old employer, what's up? Used to work there.
Anyway, The Grudge, parang that scene, the exact same scene, whereas under my blanket, the thing was, when I saw that scene, I threw my blanket away, turned off the air conditioner, slept with the fan on. That's it. Sleeping without the air conditioner tonight.
Screw you guys. I saw it in the cinema and I didn't have a blanket. It was still scary.
Well, yeah. And there's also this part where the lead is in the shower and suddenly there's this hand. What? This
coming out of her hair.
Oh, no, not the shower.
Right. Because that's really when you want to see a ghost, right?
I know, when you're all naked and vulnerable.
And covered in soap. Wait, what?
No, but I love how comparing this cursed house to Samara. Samara wasn't scary. Sadako.
Samara wasn't scary because she's hot now.
I like how... That's true. Apparently she's hot now. I don't know about Sadako, but the actress who played Samara is pretty hot now. But
Priorities.
I loved how the hatred and the abuse was translated into something that would affect other people who lived in that home.
Yeah,
Like
and
parang, it's
that's also what I love about
Go.
like Asian horror. Well, a lot of the good ones, they're also rooted upon like, since we're very traditional and we're always like, oh, be good and be kind to people around you. So sometimes, or in one form or the other, sometimes like it really comes from like this very traumatic experience of abuse which humans committed, which will, bleed into the afterlife and haunt humans, or it could be because of something that the lead character did, which is why they were haunted. Kind of like Shutter, which I saw recently. It's always like these vengeful spirits are after you because you're a shitty person. There are like angles like that too.
Tell us about your Shutter experience.
yeah.
So I only watched that recently. Like it was out 2008, 9. Let me check Google to be sure.
7 to 8,
Whatever.
7 to 9.
Either way, you were 2000 and late.
Yeah, I was super 2000 and late. I watched it in 2020. It was released in 2004, and people started recommending it to me when I was in college, which was around 2007. And I refused to watch it because I was taking photography class at the time. And people were even saying that our dark room was haunted. So I'm like, fuck no. I am not watching this while taking this class.
Hey,
it was.
I had photography lessons. I had photography classes too in school.
Yeah, and I refused. I refused to watch it. I refused to get all paranoid, and I didn't want to fuck up my photographs because of fear.
My finals project had to be a portfolio, which I did the day before submission. So I spent an entire day in the dark room.
Nice.
Okay, so this was after watching Shutter. So luckily I had an MP3 player at that time, so I had that on the whole time. But I was there at 8 in the morning. Like by the time it was lunchtime, I was getting tired of listening to music, so I shut off my MP3 player, then I could hear chairs moving in the dark room.
Oh, man.
And I knew, because of course you're in the dark room, you would know if somebody entered.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So I was like,
but Anjo, would you have noticed if like they were already there?
Yeah, you would. Once you're, I mean, if you've worked in a dark room, you would know if there are people inside, because you would.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, when you start, you would see their work when in the chemicals you collectively.
Yeah, you'd see another enlarger open or something.
Yeah. So I knew for a fact I was alone.
Damn.
MJ, do you remember our dark room? Do you remember our dark room? It had like a darker room inside.
Yeah.
And in that darker room, other things would develop.
Babies.
I did not participate in that, by the way.
Neither did I, but
Are you sure?
A lot of good stories.
Where babies develop there.
But I
not
don't know,
if you were careful.
It was a dark room, and then there was this other closet inside the dark room. So if you wanted it a little darker and safer for your photographs, but like that little room was scary.
For your photographs, sure.
I'm pretty sure it was.
That little room is scary.
No, anyway, going back to Shutter.
You would either be scared of ghosts or whatever remnants of whatever other humans were doing in there.
No,
you know what?
Going back, let's talk about Shutter. Stop talking about the darker room.
Yeah, so I watched
which is also intriguing, by the way, but let's talk about the movie.
So I watched it in 2020 and I liked it. It might have been old, like nobody develops photos like that anymore, which is sad. But it was good. It was still pretty good. Besides the fact that I could not unsee Piolo Pascual in the lead guy. Piolo Pascual / King Medina. Yeah, if they had like a love child, that's what the dude would look like. But it was really good. It was really good. And again, we have that element of vengeful spirits and whatnot, and fucked up things humans do.
I think Shutter was aside from it being vengeful, I think it was more on an obsession story, sort of.
Yeah, that too.
Yes.
It was. And
definitely.
I just and it I love how it focuses on this whole ghosts appearing in photographs and everything, and which was always like thought to be a hoax by some people, because like Photoshop, camera tricks, whatever. But
a ghost appeared in photographs. I absolutely love it. No, wait.
Yes,
Misha sang!
Never mind.
Misha sang!
God!
Woo!
Oh, not again.
Yes!
I hate you guys.
Yes!
You guys suck.
Yes!
Wait. You know what? I love Shudder for all the reasons that you said. That's absolutely right. And the whole themes about, paying for your sins, coming back to haunt you at some point, literally in this case, I guess. All of those little nuances and all the performances were absolutely on point. You're right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
For me, the absolute worst thing about that movie is that they allowed an American remake to be made.
I do not acknowledge the remake. Now that I've seen the 2020,
Joshua Jackson, aka
now that
Charlie
I've seen
Conway,
it now.
With Charlie Conway. Joshua Jackson was the lead. He was not Piolo in any way. And it was just so blah. It was just blah.
I don't know.
I don't know. The American remakes are generally terrible.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I mean, no, but I think there's something that gets lost in translation. Again, we're going to go back to the whole. All these horror movies are so deeply rooted to culture and the locality of the story that if you westernize it, there's something bound to be misinterpreted or translated the wrong way or not even translated at all,
Well, if you look at Shutter, it's actually quite universal because everybody in the world took at the time took photographs. But it's something you could work around, but how do you still fuck that up?
I don't know.
I think that's why they thought it would be easy to adapt because photography.
But where did they go wrong?
I think there's also this simplicity of how Asians do it. I know, naman Hollywood could go big budget. I think there's something also that people will appreciate in the simplistic nature of things being so scary because it's so mundane. And clearly for a fact that if Hollywood will do it, they'll do it with a big budget. They'll try to go big and everything's going to be fake.
Right.
Good point. They're not as subtle, and sometimes the scary parts are in the subtlety or how slow everything is or how.
Yeah, I think there's a difference. There's a difference between how Hollywood would do imagery and how these Asian producers or Asian filmmakers in general would translate their horror in some things that it could translate. They could use audio for it. I
have a theory. What if? You mentioned earlier, I think we touched on culture and tradition and values and all those things, religion being factors in why the Asian horror movies are generally scarier or generally more horrifying. But a lot of what we said, whether it's religion, culture, tradition, all those things, those are things that you bring into the cinema with you. Those are the things that make it scarier for you because you know where these movies are coming from, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What if that baggage that you bring into the American remakes also affects your viewing of the American remakes in the fact that for the most part, in a lot of these Asian movies, we don't know any of the actors. So it's easier for us to lose ourselves in them. But in the American ones, bear with me, right? In The Ring, you got Naomi Watts. In Shutter, you got Joshua Jackson. In Dark Water, you got Jennifer Connelly. In The Eye, you have Jessica Alba, right? It's not about the ghosts. It's not about the ghosts or the story. It's about, it's a Jessica Alba movie. It's not this horror
Sarah
movie
Michelle
anymore.
Gellar in The Ring.
In The Grudge.
That was Naomi.
The Grudge.
Yeah, The Grudge.
Yeah. Buffy was in The Grudge. But maybe that takes away from it also because you're not looking at a person in a horror movie. You're looking at Buffy in another horror situation that, she can win easy.
Well,
although Chris Aquino,
see?
it was still effective. You already know her as one of the queens of horror, but you're still scared of.
That's true. She is very horrifying. But yes.
Oh my God! I thought of another local one, Sukob.
Yes,
Sukob was good, but it didn't really scare me.
It was good. But it really made you think twice about, all these marriage scheduling in families and everything. Again, very rooted in family. So I think it's more of that concept that kind of scarred people na, hoy, wag tayong ikakasal sa isang taon lang Parang ganun, kung magkapatid tayo, bawal yun. It's like...
Yeah.
I have a confession. Do you remember The Road?
Your Road. No, I don't.
No!
That's a different horror story. That's a different horror story, MJ. That's a different horror story.
No! You guys! No, the horror movie, The Road.
Which one? Which The Road? The one is this the post-apocalyptic movie with
No, Yamlaranas.
I think I've heard of this, but I haven't seen it.
Basically, like everybody's worst nightmare of taking a wrong turn in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night, and then you can't find your way back to the main road.
That happens a lot.
I don't think that's interesting, but I've never seen it.
Thank God for Waze now, though.
But Yamlaranas is a good director.
Yeah, he's good.
I agree with you, but I think I am in the minority in that I didn't like it. I think I was like the only person I know who didn't like it. That's why I want to get your opinion.
I've not seen it, so I can't relate. So explain why.
It just, I read the reviews going in, so maybe I set my expectations up a little too high. But in general, I just didn't feel the overall sense of dread that I was expecting, and I was always distracted. And you're a director, you know when it's a nighttime scene. The local tendency is to overlight the hell out of it.
True.
Yeah.
Right? So it's never as dark or as creepy as it should be out there. But it just didn't work for me. I wanted to be terrified because I love a good scary movie. I like being manipulated by a good film. And I just didn't get that from I don't know, 2012 or something? 2013?
It's fairly recent. It's within the decade.
Yeah, it got really good reviews. And that's why when I went to the cinema, I'm like, okay, blow me away. This is going to be awesome. And I was like, that's it? Oh, okay. Huh.
Wow. Alden Richards was in this movie when he was
He was? I don't even remember.
When he was an unknown.
He's not scary. He looks like he couldn't hurt a fly.
Oh, the images are good though. The stills are amazing. I'm looking it up in IMDb.
Yeah.
Look at that.
A lot of, that's why I went.
Thank God it's pixelated. Thank God I can see it clearly.
Oh, you're alone.
If you can track it down, please watch it. Let me know what you think of The Road.
I'll see if I can find it.
Not the movie with Aragorn and his kid.
I'll see if it's on iWantTV because I'm subscribed to iWantTV.
Oh yeah, do that. It's probably there.
We're subscribed, but not the premium.
Oh, we're not subscribed to the premium account.
No, we can. It's only 120 pesos.
Oh, we're gonna plug iWantTV because it's only $120 and you get all these great movies.
Thanks, Pasha.
Thank you so much.
It's also the reason why I got into Kathniel.
Because of iWantTV?
Yeah.
No judgment. I love them.
The Kathniel movies are pretty amazing. They're good.
I love them.
Something that's really sad is like sometimes, so like the Americans figured out, okay, we don't know how to make remakes of Japanese horror movies or Chinese horror movies. So they started importing the Japanese directors to try and remake their own films, and it still didn't work.
Like what? Give an example.
I want to say, I think one of the Grudge movies was directed by the original Japanese director. Or I think the most recent Ring sequel, I think it was called Rings.
Mm-hmm. Just because it's
I know.
There are more now. That's kind of like Too Fast, Too Furious.
So, yung kasama ni Sadako.
Rings.
Here we go, yeah.
So if there are two rings, right? It's Sadako and who? Guess who the other one is? Sad din siya.
Reset.
Sorry.
Misha's rolling his eyes.
I'm not going to talk to you for at least a week. It's not good for
me. But you love me all the same. Sorry. I just had to say sad din siya. Anyway, going back.
I can't recover from that. I can't.
No, we can't. We cannot. We cannot. Okay.
Come on, like anything past the second Ring, the second Japanese Ring movie, the second the sequel of the Japanese sequel. There you go, better. Anything past
Ring
the Japanese
Zero was
sequel is
garbage.
basically shit. Even the third Japanese movie, which was called Ring Zero, which is more of an origin
that was
story.
pretty bad.
That was bad.
But-
Like I couldn't get. I mean, it didn't scare me at all. It just bored the hell out of me. I couldn't get past the first disc because at that time I was watching it on VCD. VCD, not DVD. VCD.
Oh,
Something
man.
very Filipino.
I remember that second Ring movie where the girl finds herself inside the well. That was ridiculous. That was messed up.
See, even if you said it wasn't that great, it still had its moments.
It did. It's Ring Zero that had no moments.
Zero moments.
But did you know that there was actually it got to a point where it was Sadako versus The Grudge. They made one of those movies.
What?
It was really, really bad.
It's the Asian version of Jason versus Freddy.
Yes, it was.
What?
And it was really stupid.
Oh god, that's
All
terrible.
right.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Okay, but place your bets. Who would win, Sadako or Toshio?
I go with Sadako.
I would go with Toshio though. You know why?
Oh
Why?
no, I'm the
Little cat.
tiebreaker. This is so much pressure.
No, like
I don't know.
Toshio would have ring interference with his mom. That's why.
I see.
That's why he would win. Sadako's just a kid. Toshio's also a kid. But when Toshio brings in his mom,
Fine, be that way.
Sadako's
But,
going
like,
down.
Tag team.
Going back to what I said earlier, like for
That's like
the
a
Grudge
WWE
remake,
tag
they
team where
actually
it's
got
not fair.
Exactly.
they got the director of the original Grudge to do the American remake, and it was still bad. It just did not translate. They even tried setting it in Japan, and it still didn't work.
Is this the one on Netflix?
The Grudge, the original
Yeah.
one. I don't know. Is Buffy in it?
Because there's a new Grudge movie on Netflix which I haven't gotten around to seeing.
There's
think the
actually
first-
there's actually a TV series, I think, on the prequel of The Grudge.
What?
explains-
There is.
Yeah,
That's the one on
it explains why the place is so fucked up. It'll show you like why, I mean, it'll show
do we
you
want
how
to see
people
that?
were abused or what people did
I
to
will
make it so
probably
haunted.
be.
Let me Google what it. I remember reading about it.
Is that the one on Netflix?
Yes, I
'Cause
think
there's a
it is
new one on
produced by
Netflix.
Netflix. It's Ju-on.
that's-
Ju-on Origins.
The Grudge,
There you
yeah.
go.
Oh yeah, that's the one. I
It's
wanna
a
watch
prequel
that.
series, and yeah. So it's
It's
more
Japanese,
about
right?
the people. Yeah, it's more about the people than anything supernatural, which I don't know makes it really scary because
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes you can be more afraid
horror.
of people.
I think they're horrible, horrible people for that
Yep.
Grudge to have formed.
Yep.
Oh my god, I
mean,
saw
like,
a thumbnail.
Lord.
No. No.
I love it.
Should not have Google. God damn it.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, but this is why I love horror movies in general, not just Asian horror movies. It's because of these reactions. Because it's so much fun. Like, if you're, especially if you're watching it with a group, or a friend, the collective,
I agree.
the collective screams, the collective reactions, always fun. Like if you watch it in any cinema, especially a really good horror movie, when people start screaming and then you see and then you hear the giggles and the laughter after people scream.
That is the best thing.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the fun
awesome.
thing about
I love
horror
that
movies.
feeling.
This
I
is
know,
why I like
and
it.
going back to that sleepover when we watched The Grudge, my God, we had to pause it after like being scared shitless, and we were laughing for minutes after.
Right.
It was so fun. It was seriously
Yep.
so fun.
Yep. I think generally speaking, if you're gonna watch horror movies, it's best to watch it with a group just because of the sheer fun of of the reactions you'd see.
Or it's also fun if you watch it alone and immerse yourself in the whole thing, like in the dark alone. Well, that
that's
makes it
true.
scary, but it's like a whole immersive experience into watching these.
Well,
Which is
I would
also
watch
fun.
psychological
Why do you do that to
horror
yourself?
I'd watch psychological horror movies by myself. But supernatural ones, I have to watch it with other people. I don't know why.
I have to watch the supernatural ones in the comforts of my own home because, safe space until... And then you remember The Grudge and fuck that shit.
So, okay, what other movies have you seen? Like, it may be supernatural horror movies or like psychological horror movies. What about you, Misha? What are some of your favorites? Or like,
I was gonna ask another if you've seen Sigaw.
No, I have not.
Really?
I've heard it. I've heard it though.
That
wow, so funny.
Very nice, very nice.
So
but
funny.
yeah,
is this the
they
Jo Marie Iliana?
Yes, it is exactly that. It's by Yam Laranas also.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good.
And like basically old apartment building, haunted antics ensue. They remade it. They actually remade this Filipino horror movie in the States.
What did they call it? Shout or the Echo?
No,
Scream. No, they can't call it Scream.
They called it The Echo. Exactly right.
Doesn't make sense
And
calling it the Echo because
it was so boring. It was so boring. But on the bright side, see, Isa Calzado was there and she reprised her role.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why you guys gotta watch more horror movies, more local horror movies.
Wait. What was the story about? I feel like I've seen
like
this
I said.
before.
No, wait.
Huh?
I've seen the remake of this, actually.
The
Surprisingly,
American
I have
one.
not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original, but I've seen the remake. God, was she gorgeous in that movie. But yeah, I feel I could see how it was so Americanized. I wasn't scared. I was entertained, but not scared.
Yes, I've seen this. I remember this. I've seen the local version. It was good.
I've only seen the
good.
remake. And
It
so
was good.
if I see the original, I guess I'll be happy because the one I watched, which was the American remake, was like, okay.
This was this was the one with Angel Locsin had a condo with her then ka-love team, right? Si Richard Gutierrez.
Yes.
Tama ba? Yes, this is the one.
Yes.
And then si Jo Marie Iliana was a cop.
Yep.
Who was basically an asshole because he was a two-timing cop, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
Yam
This was-
Laranas got to remake his own movie. He also did the American version.
Yeah,
This
but you can still see how he had to adjust it.
I haven't seen the original movie though.
You
I mean,
just
sorry.
you just
The remake.
Yeah,
No,
the remake.
The remake. I haven't seen the remake, so I can't really relate. So I have to. I want to see. Now I'm curious. I want to see the remake if it was this good.
It wasn't
I mean,
good.
Yeah,
like
but
this
it's
bad.
good. Makes for a good
It wasn't
comparison.
bad.
I guess.
It wasn't bad. It was aight.
Mm.
I mean, did it have its moments? I don't
One
really
of
remember much.
One of the most messed up Asian horror flicks that I saw was Korean, because we already went through the Japanese ones, and I would have called out The Ring if Anjo didn't do it earlier. But have you guys seen A Tale of Two Sisters?
Yo, yeah.
Have
you seen that?
Oh
MJ?
God!
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
You will
good.
never look at a closet, a wardrobe, a standalone wardrobe ever again.
Ever.
I think I
It's
remember
ever
the.
Fucked up.
Ever.
I remember seeing the trailer of this though, and I'm like, nope, nope, no thanks, no
It's
thanks.
pretty good
But
though.
Hey, you took our word for it with Shudder. Why don't you watch this one?
Well, that was at the time,
Watch
at
it
the
with your
time,
mom.
No, no, she'll have annoying commentary the whole time.
Which will
Why
make
are
it
you
fun.
watching this? Why are you watching a satanic movie? No, I'm kidding. Sorry. I'm
No,
so sorry.
I just remember seeing this trailer when it was out. I think when I was much younger also, I wanted to avoid. I wasn't very big on horror movies, but now I've grown to like them more, which is why a lot of the horror movies I've seen later on. Like I've seen them late,
Right.
2000 and late and everything.
So like A Tale of Two Sisters, right? It's got this patient from a mental hospital goes home, right?
It's good already.
And basically it's about all her messed up relationship with her stepmother and that their house is
family.
haunted. Everybody in that house is messed up, basically. And
That's fucking-
stay the hell away from the wardrobe. I swear to God.
But of course, like in all good horror movies, they do not.
I know. I am telling you, holy shit, that is not Narnia in there. Do not go near the wardrobe.
Nope. It's not even a place that's in there. It's like, it's someone or something.
There was another one that I saw, a Thai one. It was kind of a knockoff of The Ring. So you know how like in The Ring, it was a videotape that if you watch it, then you die in a week? In the Thai one, it was called Now Showing. It was a cinema. It was if you watch this movie.
What? No.
Then you would die. You would die.
No way. Well,
yes.
So it's,
because
what kind of cinema would that be?
Star
no,
Wars.
it's not. It's not. It's no. It's not the cinema. It's the movie. The movie that's playing in the cinema. Because apparently it was like they were shooting the movie and then one of the actors died and they kept that take in the film in the final cut.
Oh, that's a good premise, though.
Of course, the damn thing was cursed.
Good premise, though.
It's kind of like Macbeth for theater.
You nerd. But yes, I agree with you in a strange way.
Fellow nerd.
Yeah. But yes, that was, if you could track down Now Showing, that's a good one.
Okay.
Oh, there's another Korean one. There's another Korean one before we wrap up. The Wishing Stairs.
I've not seen that, but
that does not sound like...
That sounds more like a K-drama.
That, to me, sounds like a children's fantasy.
Except for one...
Go.
Okay.
What's with the Wishing Stairs?
Okay, basically, right, it's like this high-intensity art school, okay? One of those, like, private schools where... Like a school for the arts, basically. It's a private school, but it's school for the arts. And everybody is just trying to be the best. And everyone, they're all jerks. They're all stuck up and all that stuff. And then there is this staircase on the edge of the property because it's a big big school, right? It's on a big piece of land. And there's a staircase on the side. And the legend is like, if you go up it a certain way or whatever, and you make a wish and you go through all the steps, you'll get your wish if you get to the end. Only trouble is, it's one of those movies where it's be careful what you wish for because every wish comes with a price.
Okay, that's interesting. So like it's like Leprechaun but scarier.
It's like one of the girls wants to be the lead in the upcoming production of whatever ballet they're doing, right?
And she breaks her leg or something.
No, I think she walks through glass.
Or the rival.
What?
Oh, never mind.
Fuck?
What she walks through?
She walks glass.
What? I want to
see. It's really messed up. It's really messed up.
Oh,
yeah.
Speaking of other psychological horrors, like there's this Japanese movie I want to watch. It's called The Suicide. It's not Suicide Squad. Suicide Club.
Suicide Club. I like that one. I have that.
I think I've seen this.
It's good.
That was messed up.
If you remember this one scene where this entire line of high school kids on the train platform where they jump
on the subway. Oh my god!
No.
That is so wrong.
That
so very wrong.
That scarred me.
You guys should watch.
And
Suicide Club was based on real events.
Yeah, that's what's scary. Because
which is why it's so scary.
It's ingrained in their culture. So again, here we go with something that you're so familiar with or that hits close to home.
Yes. But other than that, before we wrap up, I want to watch movies that were based on Junji Ito's manga. So like Tomie, which is about this like fiendish girl. She's kind of like a devil or a succubus or something. Or Uzumaki, which is about this town that's obsessed with spirals. Those are really creepy stories by Junji Ito. And then they produced movies based off on the manga. It's kind of campy, but it also kind of works if you read the story.
Because Junji Ito is like Japanese horror on LSD.
Yep.
So I can't even imagine what his movies would look like.
Yep.
Jesus.
Just watch the trailer for Tomie or watch the trailer for Uzumaki, especially Uzumaki. It's nuts.
And if you want a really quick scare like right now, do you guys remember that thing that went viral on the internet with the manga where you just scroll down where this girl's like walking alone at night?
Oh, hell no!
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember what it's called, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Speaking of manga, while you scroll down and read it, fuck.
Yeah, just don't. Just don't.
I think what should people Google for that?
I don't know.
Comic. But you know what?
Let's let Angelo. Let's look at.
Wait, you don't know? You've never seen it, Anjo?
Nope.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! You're gonna look at it now. Oh,
Wait, what do we Google? What do we ask him to Google? Shit.
I don't know. Wait, I'm gonna send him a link. Oh shit. Oh damn,
You
son.
assholes.
I'll find it later, but oh man.
No,
what was it called?
it makes for good content. I swear, we should record as this is happening.
Wait, what was it called? I'm just Googling shit right now.
Oh, found it.
Okay.
Send it to him. Send it to us. Let's all look at it. Let him
No,
do
I'm not
it
gonna
first.
look at it.
Send it to me. I want to look at it.
Oh my god, I am so
Oh
nervous.
my god, just the screenshot.
To everyone listening, we will post the link to this in the comments.
Okay, so all I googled was Japanese comic scary internet. That was lame, but it's famous. So it's Bongcheon
good job.
Dong Ghost. There you go. Written and illustrated by Horang.
Doesn't that
Like
make it
the Tekken
Korean?
character?
No,
Yeah.
not Huarang.
Yeah.
This is Horang.
That-
Oh.
Never. Or it's
Okay,
M.
let's leave
Comic
Anjo
dot
alone.
never.
Can we leave him alone?
Yeah, we'll stay quiet while you read it.
Yeah, you do that.
Mm.
I'm just looking at Anja's face this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kid walking. Also taking time to look at the image.
Oh, you do
It's
that.
good imagery. It's
Yes,
good
do
imagery.
that.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck, man? What? Mm-hmm. Tang ina to. Whoa! Wait, I'm not done yet.
Okay, yeah, it's cool.
I'm looking through Anja's
Oh,
glasses.
it's Korean. This is Korean.
Oh yeah, sorry, Korean then.
In 2000, oh my god.
I'm looking at Anja's glasses to see what part he's at. It's reflected.
Known as a divorcee due to an extramarital affair. What the fuck? This is creepy as fuck, man. This one? Fuck, man. This is fucking scary.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Did it
I don't-
jump scare you?
No.
What?
I don't. Jump scares don't really work on me anymore because I watch a lot of horror movies.
Man, you suck.
I don't
Yeah,
scare that
fine.
easy.
Fine,
Sorry,
but
guys.
Enjoy.
that was epic because it had like this animated jump scare that would just like scare the shit out of you.
True.
Oh man, that was disappointing.
Oh well. Yeah, I know, right? Maybe it had to
I'm
be
like,
there.
I'm
I don't
probably
know.
like one of the worst people to watch horror movies with because I don't scare that easily anymore. I watch a lot.
when
It's
when
like
I
he's
saw that, my
challenging
blood
us.
went cold.
Yeah, man. I almost punched my monitor when I saw that.
Anyway, you guys,
let's
you guys
wrap
should check
this
it
up.
out just in case.
Okay,
Wait,
let's
it's supposed to be
wrap this up.
animated.
Yeah.
It didn't animate kasi on mine. Eh.
Padoy!
Oh man,
It's-
that's
it's
why.
That's
really just
why.
It's
That's
just a bunch of still
why.
images for you. That's why.
That sucked. But because when I think I'm not sure if you should see it on your browser or something else, but that image would move. That
Yeah.
that part you showed us. Oh well.
Never mind.
Oh.
Okay, just to wrap up. Yeah, I think we can all agree that in general we all enjoy a good scare, and some of our favorites happen to be Asian horror films. Whether they're better because of context, because of cultural background or grounding, as the case may be, for some reason or other, the Asian horror films always seem to have something a little bit extra compared to their Western counterparts, even when they try and remake the original ones. But for what it's worth, I think that the past few years, we've been seeing a lot of new kinds of horror coming out of the West. So I look forward to the day that we can actually do an episode on Western horror movies.
Yes.
There's no shortage of that as well.
For sure.
Horror.
Absolutely. Torture porn.
Ooh,
Serial killers.
Torture porn, which is Audition. Yeah. Ooh, you.
Hostel.
Yeah. Oh, no,
And
man. I would give it to Martyrs. It's this French movie, but that's for a different topic. It's for a different recording.
For my part, I'm actually amazed how many Filipino horror films we covered today. Because I honestly thought we were just going to cover the usual stuff like The Ring and The Grudge and The Eye or stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of good horror out there. Even
for people who don't watch a lot of Filipino cinema, you guys are missing out. There's just so much good material from different genres: romance, drama, horror. There's a lot of good stuff, comedies as well. Oh yeah!
Yay!
So let us know what your favorite Asian horror movies are down in the comments. Maybe we'll talk about them in a future episode. Maybe we'll share some content. I have no idea. Just let us know what you think, and we'll see you next episode. Until then, we are this.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Don't share personal horror stories because we know that's going to be real. So just horror.
Hey, that would be cool. Why don't they share their own personal horror stories?
Or you guys could listen to Grimcast.
Dun, dun, dun.
Also from Big Baby Studios, if you want some horror stories, that's a really good one to listen to. Listen to Misha's and laugh at his story.
No, please don't. That was most unfortunate. But yeah, that was fun, guys. Thank you so much. We are the Sub-Auteurs. I'm Misha.
I'm Anjo.
And I'm MJ.
We'll see you guys next week.
Till next time.
7 days.
7 days.
7 days. Pikachu.
What? Pikachu. Oh, haunted Pikachu. That would be cute.
Sub-Auteurs is a movie review podcast by a DJ, writer, and a filmmaker. Sub-Auteurs is produced, recorded, and distributed by Big Baby Studios.